In the heart of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where echoes of historical scientific triumphs still lingered in the air, 10-year-old Eddie Bennett discovered a fortune not just in wealth but in possibilities. The news broke on a typical school day that turned extraordinary when Eddie was called to the principal's office not for mischief, as one might expect of a boy his age, but to meet Mr. Clarkson, a lawyer who carried news that would forever change Eddie's life. As Eddie, with his untamed curly hair and eyes wide with a mix of anxiety and excitement, walked down the corridor, whispers of curiosity followed him. Little did he know, he was about to inherit not only a vast fortune, but a destiny filled with innovation and the potential to reshape his community. Mr. Clarkson, known in Oak Ridge for his stern but fair legal expertise, laid out the documents on the small table in the principal's office with a gravity that belied the usual cheeriness of the room, often filled with colorful artwork and school awards. "Eddie," he began, his voice steady and gentle, "you've inherited something quite extraordinary from a relative you've never met. He was an inventor, much like you aspire to be, and he believed that you, his only remaining heir, could continue his legacy." Eddie listened, his mind racing as he absorbed the news. Among the assets were patents to revolutionary green technologies and blueprints that his great-uncle had developed in secret. The inventions, ranging from energy-efficient engines to sustainable water purification systems, had the potential to significantly impact environmental preservation. This inheritance was not just financial. It was a call to action, a chance to use these innovations for the greater good. Energized by the possibilities, Eddie turned to his most steadfast supporter, his grandmother, Mrs. Bennett. Together, they envisioned the first project, transforming their own community of Oak Ridge into a model of sustainability. "Let's start with the school," Eddie suggested, his voice filled with determination. "If we can show everyone how these inventions can work here, maybe we can inspire other places too." The project started with the installation of solar panels at Eddie's elementary school. Despite initial resistance from some community members wary of change, especially from a child, Eddie's enthusiasm and thorough understanding of the technology won them over. He conducted presentations, assisted by animations and models he built himself, to explain how the technology worked and how it would benefit the school and the community. The success of the solar panel project was just the beginning. News of the boy genius who was turning his small town into a green paradise spread quickly. Soon, Eddie was invited to speak at environmental conferences and schools, sharing his vision and demonstrating his inventions. With each presentation, Eddie refined his public speaking skills and deepened his knowledge, always eager to learn more and apply his insights in practical ways. Eddie's efforts also sparked interest among environmental groups and investors, leading to the formation of a foundation dedicated to promoting green innovations in communities across the country. The foundation, spearheaded by Eddie but guided by a board of experienced environmentalists and business leaders, focused on funding and implementing sustainable projects. Through it all, Eddie remained grounded, thanks to the unwavering support of Mrs. Bennett and the Oak Ridge community. His journey wasn't just about the projects he led or the fame that came with them. It was about inspiring a wave of young innovators ready to take on the challenges of their world. And as he grew, so did his vision, expanding beyond the horizons of Oak Ridge to touch communities around the globe, proving that even the smallest hands could shape the future. As Eddie's reputation as a young visionary began to solidify, his endeavors in Oak Ridge sparked a broader conversation about the role of youth in leading technological and environmental change. With the successful integration of his great-uncle's sustainable technologies into local infrastructures, Eddie turned his focus outward, keen on leveraging his newfound platform to effect greater change. While still navigating the complexities of elementary school life, from homework assignments to playground politics, Eddie also found himself at the helm of a burgeoning nonprofit dedicated to global sustainability. His days, once filled with typical child's play, were now a blend of school responsibilities and strategic meetings with his board of directors, composed of leading figures in science, technology, and environmental advocacy. Despite the heavy load, Eddie's energy never waned. If anything, his passion for his mission grew stronger with every project and presentation. One of the foundation's first major initiatives under Eddie's leadership was the Green Playgrounds Project, aimed at converting school playgrounds across the nation into energy-generating hubs. The idea was simple yet revolutionary: equip playground equipment with energy-capturing technology that feeds back into the school's power grids. Not only would this reduce schools' carbon footprints and energy costs, but it would also educate students on renewable energy from a young age, integrating these crucial lessons into their everyday play and learning environments. The pilot project, launched in a neighboring school district, was met with resounding success. The sight of children swinging and climbing on equipment that doubled as a tool for sustainability captured the public's imagination and drew media attention. The project showcased Eddie's ability to translate complex technologies into accessible, community-based solutions, earning him accolades and sparking interest from school districts across the country. As the initiative gained momentum, Eddie was invited to speak at national educational conferences and environmental summits. Despite his young age, his speeches were poignant and powerful, resonating with educators, policymakers, and fellow young innovators. His message was clear: the fight for a sustainable future is not just a battle to be waged by politicians and scientists in distant conference rooms, but a daily commitment that starts in our backyards, schools, and communities. However, with the spotlight came scrutiny and challenges. Some critics argued that the pressures of managing a growing foundation were too much for someone so young. Debates swirled about the ethics of placing such heavy responsibilities on the shoulders of a child. Eddie faced these criticisms head-on, with the support of his grandmother and his team, who ensured that his health and well-being were always a priority. They worked together to strike a balance between his duties as a foundation leader and his life as a normal kid who needed time to play, explore, and just be. Eddie's journey was also a deeply personal quest to fulfill the legacy of the relative he never knew but whose inventions had changed his life. He often pondered the motivations and dreams of his great-uncle, whose journals he read every night. These writings were not just technical logs, but reflections on a life dedicated to bettering the world through innovation. They inspired Eddie to think big, but also underscored the importance of humility, community, and connection, values that Eddie held dear. As the chapter closed on another successful year, Eddie looked forward to the future. With plans to expand the foundation's reach to international communities and explore new sustainable technologies, Eddie's adventure was just beginning. He knew the road ahead would be filled with as many obstacles as opportunities, but he was ready. Armed with boundless curiosity, a brilliant mind, and a heart full of courage, Eddie was not just a part of the conversation on global sustainability, he was leading it. As Eddie Bennett's green initiatives flourished, he took a bold step forward by spearheading an ambitious global project called Renew the Future. The goal was audacious yet straightforward: to introduce renewable energy solutions to underdeveloped communities around the world. This endeavor wasn't just about implementing existing technologies, but adapting them to diverse environmental and cultural contexts, ensuring that sustainability was accessible to all, not just the affluent. Eddie's vision led him to collaborate with international NGOs and local governments, drawing on his experience from the Green Playgrounds initiative to tailor solutions that respected local needs and resources. His first target was a small village in Kenya, where electricity was sporadic at best and non-existent at worst. Collaborating with a team of engineers and local leaders, Eddie helped design and install a series of solar panels and small wind turbines that utilized the region's abundant sunlight and strong winds. The project not only illuminated homes, but also powered a local school and clinic, dramatically improving the quality of life and education for the village's residents. The success in Kenya became a model for other projects across different continents. Each project was a learning experience, and Eddie made sure to be as much a student as he was a leader. He learned about the importance of cultural sensitivity, the challenges of logistical planning across borders, and the necessity of community involvement in sustainability efforts. These experiences matured him, shaping him into a thoughtful leader who understood that true change required patience, respect, and perseverance. Back home, as Eddie's initiatives gained international acclaim, so did his role as a public figure. He was no longer just the boy who had inherited a fortune. He was now a global ambassador for change. This new role brought invitations to speak at the United Nations, participate in global summits, and even discuss environmental policies with world leaders. His message was always clear: empower the youth, embrace technology, and make sustainability a universal priority. However, with his rising profile came increased scrutiny. The media, once supportive, began to probe every aspect of his life and work. The foundation faced audits and was under constant observation for any misstep. Furthermore, the pressure to maintain funding and prove the viability of his projects added a layer of stress that was challenging for someone still in his teenage years. To manage these pressures, Eddie relied heavily on his foundation's team, led by his trusted advisor, Dr. Helen Nguyen, a veteran in international development. Under her guidance, Eddie learned to navigate the complexities of running a nonprofit while ensuring that his projects remained transparent and effective. His grandmother, still his greatest supporter, kept him grounded, reminding him of the simple joys of life amidst his whirlwind schedule. As Eddie approached his late teens, he began to delegate more responsibilities to his team, focusing on strategic planning and new innovations. He started the Innovate for Tomorrow competition, a global challenge that invited young inventors from around the world to submit their ideas for sustainable technologies. The competition was a tribute to his great-uncle's legacy, encouraging a new generation of thinkers to dream big and act boldly. The next chapter of Eddie's life was about building on his early successes while paving the way for future leaders in sustainability. He was determined to ensure that his foundation would continue to thrive, even when the day came for him to pass the torch. This foresight was critical in shaping a sustainable approach not just to environmental issues but to the leadership of the foundation itself. Eddie knew that true sustainability meant creating systems that could endure and evolve, just like the ecosystems he worked so hard to protect. As Eddie Bennett approached adulthood, his journey as a child prodigy began to transition into a mature leadership role. He started focusing not just on expanding his global initiatives but also on deepening the impact of each project through sustainable community involvement and education. Eddie realized that for his efforts to have a lasting impact, they needed to be rooted deeply in local communities, with education at the forefront of change. To achieve this, Eddie launched the Eco Ambassador program, a comprehensive educational initiative that trained young leaders around the world to spearhead environmental projects in their communities. The program combined online learning with hands-on projects, ensuring participants could implement real-world solutions while fostering a network of young environmentalists. The curriculum covered everything from basic environmental science to advanced sustainable technologies and project management, tailored to various age groups and learning styles. One of the program's first graduates was Anna from Brazil, who returned to her village to set up a sustainable farming project that used biodegradable waste to create nutrient-rich soil, reducing reliance on chemical fertilizers and enhancing crop yields. Her success story was one of many that Eddie used to fuel the program's expansion, showcasing the tangible benefits of investing in young environmental leaders. With the Eco Ambassador program running successfully, Eddie also turned his attention to technological innovation. He spearheaded a new venture called Eco Innovate, a think tank that collaborated with tech companies, universities, and research institutes to develop new sustainable technologies. The think tank worked on several groundbreaking projects, including a low-cost water purification system that could be manufactured using locally sourced materials and an energy-efficient housing model designed for rapid assembly in disaster-stricken areas. While these projects added to his portfolio of successes, Eddie also faced challenges that tested his resolve and leadership. One such challenge was navigating the complex regulations and red tape that often hindered environmental projects. To tackle this, Eddie established a policy advocacy group within the foundation, dedicated to working with governments and international bodies to streamline environmental legislation and promote green initiatives. Amidst these professional challenges, Eddie's personal life also underwent significant changes. He began to seek a balance between his demanding role as the head of a major nonprofit and his personal needs and relationships. He learned to manage his time better, delegating more responsibilities to his trusted team, and making sure to spend time with his family and friends. He also pursued hobbies that connected him with nature, such as hiking and bird watching, which helped him stay grounded. Eddie's story continued to inspire people around the world, and his foundation's impact grew. However, he remained focused on the core mission that started his journey, the mission to make the world a better place through innovation, education, and community involvement. His vision for the future was clear: to create a global network of change-makers who would carry forward the torch of environmental stewardship. And this brings us to the end of the story. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, Don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.